Let me tell you a story. When I was a GIS specialist, one of the things I used to do was to hide behind my work, doing all the technical work, hiding behind the scenes, but I wasn't showing up as myself, Carey. And then when I pivoted into design and digital, I found myself just relying on my good work and my creativity. But I soon realized that one of the things that people wanted wasn't just the designs. People wanted to connect with the person behind the designs and the digital and everything I was doing. But to be honest, that was very hard for me. I found that very challenging to show and share more of myself because one of the things that I have found when you start showing up, especially online and just in life generally, it requires some level of vulnerability, right? And if you didn't grow up in a way to probably openly express yourself, then that can be a little challenging for you. Many entrepreneurs are hiding behind their work and not showing up as themselves. So you're really good at this craft, you are very good at what you're doing, but that's the most anyone will get from you. And I wanted to share another quick story. So there's a particular graphic designer I follow on Instagram, and she does really great work. I love her work. I've never seen her face anything at all. And I remember one day I saw her photo on her page, right? And I was like, what she was doing was sharing her photo, and then she did like a reel, just sharing like a behind the scenes kind of thing. And I thought it was just so refreshing to see the person behind the brand, to get an idea of their personality and the voice and everything. And I mean, of course, we can always be doing good work, but we often forget that people buy into people and not just a product. So I find that a lot of times we do great work, we do amazing things, but people like to connect with people. And when I had that realization, I was like, yeah, that's a very wow moment. And it doesn't mean, well, you have to reveal your entire life story. You're not going to tell them everything, but you just show up and share what you know your audience needs to know, especially as it relates to your service and the work and the story you have to tell. My question is, do you feel like you cannot put yourself out there because everything needs to be perfect or look perfect? Perfect brand, perfect website, a design, you need a logo before you start, you need a logo before you show up. You know, all these things are all these stories that we tell ourselves. But the truth is, your audience don't need all of that. They don't need the perfect anything. They don't need a perfect website, the perfect logo. Have you ever seen like entrepreneurs who show up, or just people in general, who show up with like less than perfect situations? I have watched the videos with persons who they don't have the most aesthetically pleasing background. They don't have the fanciest of clothes. They don't have the best speech. They're not the most eloquent, but they show up as themselves and they just start talking and just start sharing, just start connecting. That is what your audience is looking for. One of the things I realized about perfectionism, and if this is something you're struggling with, already you might know that it equals to delay, it equals to you staying hidden, but also you miss opportunities. And so when I became Jamaica's first Canva ambassador, I didn't get that opportunity, or I wasn't recognized because I was hidden. I didn't get to recognize because I was showing up perfectly. Actually, I was showing up very imperfectly. And the truth is, I was not perfect. I am not perfect now, and I'll never be perfect. Even though in the past I've had this struggle like, oh, everything needs to be perfect. I've had to come to the realization that perfect is not and shouldn't be a goal or a desire. Of course, I have standards, but perfectionism is definitely not. It wasn't perfectionism that opened the door. It was courage, it was consistency, and it was me sharing authentically. It was me sharing my natural love and joy for Canva and utilizing the tool. It wasn't about wanting to be recognized, it wasn't wanting anything outside of just serving my audience. And I didn't even realize at the time that I had such a burning desire. But the more I started doing it, I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to share and let people know that, hey, they can do this in Canva, or they can use it for this purpose. And so, one of the things I had to learn, like I said earlier, is that people buy into people, your story, the imperfections, and the journey. And so similar like how I'm doing this video, I started this video series or this series Stop Hiding because I know someone on the other side of this screen or someone out there needs to be showing up, but they're not. They're literally not because they think they need to be perfect and not realizing that there's someone else on the other side of their screen will need to hear them and to see them and to hear the story and the journey of how they become and how they're becoming. Your audience needs you as you are right now, as you are being relatable. They want to see someone figuring it out, not perfect. And the truth is, when you start, you will naturally start to evolve when you do the work and you start seeing the things you need to improve on, or listening to your audience and just talking to people. You literally evolve. You'll see it. I like to say, like, if you go back to my first video I created in 2020 on social media. A matter of fact, I'm going to show you a video that I created.
To 1104 occasion, creativity with a difference. I'd like to say a big thank you for all the love and support that we have been receiving. We greatly appreciate it. My name is Carey-Lee Dixon, and I am the creative director of 1104 occasion. For those of you who are here for the very first time, let me just
I just left university and I started my first business or official business. And at that time, I sat and rehearsed that entire script over and over and over until it sounded perfect. No, if you realize that video, I did not feel like it was not my natural self. Like I was just so stiff and stoic and I spoke so eloquently, which is amazing. But at the same time, you didn't get Carrie, the person. You just like, it was just so forced and scripted and perfect and polished. But my audience at the time couldn't relate to that, couldn't resonate with that. And even with that business that I had, which I had started actually during university, it really struggled. I would say it was a failed business because I started it and all I was doing at the time was hiding behind the scenes of my work. And I was just hiding behind the scene because I just thought that if I did these designs, people would see it, they would love it, they would purchase. But the truth is, the persons who actually purchased or worked with me or hired me for any service at the time were people who knew me, the real me, not people online who they didn't have an idea who this person is, who might love my work but just couldn't connect with me. It didn't give me much traction, if I'm going to be honest. And then my other point about your audience needing you know as you are is being authentic. In that video, I feel like I wasn't as authentic as I could have been. Again, I just thought I had to be perfect. So authenticity is about not hiding behind this whatever mask or story you're telling yourself, but really showing up as you are. Coming off inauthentic or not being your authentic or true self really creates this distance between you and your audience. So if you talk, if how you speak in like off camera, speak like that on camera, right? So how I'm talking now, of course you want to polish up yourself a little bit, like polish up meaning you're not going to come online and just talk straight patois. Of course you have to know your audience, but at the same time, just be natural. Don't be forced. Don't try to be, you know, anyone you're not, because people will see it, right? And one of the things when you try not to be, when you're not authentic, it creates a level of mistrust. And when you show up authentically, it actually builds credibility. So imperfection beats no action. Every time you show up as you are, as imperfect as you are, as best as you are, it inspires someone else. It literally inspires someone else. So, and I want to share another quick story, or not story, but just a few things. So I've had persons message me or talk to me or see me in person and like, oh my God, you're so confident. Oh my God, Carrie, keep showing up. I really love what you're doing. And someone, I remember someone saying, I can't forget this particular story I have to share. So I was working at a particular place, and when a co-workers encounter you, they don't know all facets of you. But anyway, she discovered me on social media, and she saw some of my videos, and she was like, "Oh my God, Carrie, you are so confident." And I remember when she said it, and I said to her, "Listen, this took some time, girl. This took some time for me to get to where I am today because I wasn't always like this." And she's like, "Really? I couldn't tell." I wouldn't have known that if you didn't tell me. And I've had a lot of persons come to me and like, Carey, honestly, the way how you show up really inspired me to take action. The way how you show up, the way you speak, the way whatever you share really inspired me to take action. And literally, that's one of the goals of me, like being on here and talking to you and sharing, because I'm not sharing because, oh, I just want to tell you my story, or I'm not sharing just because, oh, it's just a thing to do. I'm sharing because I want to inspire action for you to take note of what you could be doing differently to shift your life into the life that is truly for you. So, like I said, like every action or every step you take really inspires someone else. And you don't know. Sometimes you won't always get people coming up to you or messaging you and telling you what you're doing and how it inspires them. Literally, sometimes no one will, but they'll be watching every single video you post. They'll be following everything you do on social media, and behind the scenes, it's inspiring them to do something that maybe they would have never done if they didn't watch. Action exercise for you. I want you to create one piece of content where you show up as who you are. Show up as you are. No overthinking, just you and the message and the value you want to share. So I want you to do that action exercise. And if you do it, and when you do it, I should say if, when you do it, I want you to email me. My link is in the description. I want you to even comment. This is a good one. Comment with the link to the content you created so I can check it out and so others can check it out. Of course, remember you're showing up for the audience who needs you, and chances are your audience could be even watching this video as well. So create that one piece of content, show up as you are, focus on you, the message, and the value you're going to provide. If this video resonated with you, I definitely want you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, like this video, share the video with a friend who you know might need it and needs it. And then I want you to follow this 7-part series on Stop Hiding. I've done quite a number of videos here, so you can check out the link in the description, watch the playlist, go back, watch a video. If you haven't heard, I have a 3-part webinar series that is coming up where you get the opportunity to learn from me as I share my strategy and approach to how I transform from being hidden to more visible, and the exact approach, like the strategy, the actions I took. And I'll definitely, this is a raw, honest, transparent way for you to just ask me questions and I'll answer you as best as I can. Just really literally sharing my own journey, the approaches I took, the lessons I've learned, the mistakes I've even made. So this is a 3-part webinar, and the link is in the description for you to sign up and to join. And of course, if you have any questions, comment them below. If there's a video you'd like to see about me talking more about stop hiding or how you can show up and how you can build on camera confidence, then comment below.